Well, howdy there, Internet students. Mr. Hermanson again. Hey, I'm just going to go over a few things. This is your review for the second quarter final. This is Unit 1. There's 15 problems here for you to do. I'm going to go over a couple of them and just remind you of a couple of things I think you might have forgot. And I'll also go over the questions that I see from your work that a lot of people are getting wrong. So if you get something wrong, know that either during this video or during our meeting, I'll hopefully cover that, and then you'll be able to do fine on the final. All right. The first thing that I want to go over is using your calculator. Number 6 here, it says, what is the slope of the line that passes through the points 15, 18, and 11, negative 14? I just want to remind you that your calculator can check this work for you. So the formula, and all the formulas you need are on that formula sheet that's in the resource part of Classroom. But it looks like this. You subtract the 2 y coordinates, that's your rise, and then you subtract the 2 x coordinates, that's your run. So you would do like 18 minus negative 14, those are the y coordinates, and then in the same order, so 15 minus 11 are your x coordinates, and that would be 32 over 4, which as long as it comes out a whole number, you might as well write that as a whole number, 8. So on your calculator, and the Desmos will do this also. So if you're using the Desmos, that's fine. But so here's how you do it on the calculator. You should know it on this, how to do it on this one too, because you are going to use this same calculator when you do the MCA test. But anyway, so you press stat here, and then enter, and then you have your lists. You want those to be cleared. And what we're going to do is just put the 2 points in there. And then we're going to do the linear regression. We only need the slope from that, and I'll show you that in a second. But the 2 points are 15, 18. So I'm going to put those in like this, 15, and then 18. L2 is my y coordinate, which is 18. And then the other point is 11, negative 14. And then once they're in there, you're going to press stat. And this, if you forget which buttons to push, that's also in the resources, the resource sheet I gave you for using the calculator. But calc, and then number 4, and then you can hit enter till it gets down to calculate here, but it'll give you the slope here. It's a number in front of x, which is the letter A, so it's 8. So that's a good way to check your work. Okay. Another one I wanted to go over is a number 11. So you can do the same thing we just did. We can go to our calculator and put these 2 points in your calculator, and figure it out that way. I mean, you can do it by hand also, and maybe I'll show you that during the meeting. But so let's put these in 14, these 2 points, 1460. So and then 16 is the other x coordinate, and then 60 and 70 are the y coordinates. And then run your linear regression like I did on the last problem, and the equation is 5x minus 10. Okay. Now, when you do the Google form, it asks you um, to to give you the sum of m and b. Okay. In this case, from this formula, y equals mx plus b. In this case, m is 5 and b is negative 10. So you have to add 5 plus negative 10, and on your Google form, you're gonna enter negative 5 for your answer, and that'll help you get it right. Okay. On the last page, I thought I would go over this one, number 13 here. Are the points collinear? Here's what I'm going to suggest you do. Go ahead and put these two in the calculator and get the equation for those two. And if the other 2 points work for that equation, then they're collinear. Collinear just means they line up in a straight line. So they make a linear situation. All right. The other way you could check it is, let's say this is point A, this is point B, this is point C. You could find the slope from A to B. You could find the slope from B to C. And if you get the same slope, then they're collinear, because if you have the same slope, then that line is going to end up being a straight line. What I mean by that is this. So here's A, goes up to B, and then if it continues and goes up to C at that same rate, then the line will be one long straight continuous line. So you can check the slopes. But I'm going to show you another way to do it. So let's put in those 2 points in your calculator, 4, 10, and 6, 16, and get the equation. So we're going to put in here 4 and 6 are my x coordinates. And then for the y coordinates, we're going to put 10 and 16. You don't want to put all 3 in, because that's not going to show you if they are if they all line up, because a linear regression will kind of average them. So you want to be careful about that. But if you put in 2 of them and you find the equation, so the equation would be 3x, y equals 3x minus 2. And if this point works in that equation, now remember the first number is x, the second number is y. So if we take 3 times 12 minus 2 and we get the y number, 34, if this is true, then they're collinear because they all work in that same linear equation. And this is 36 minus 2. 36 minus 2 is 34, so that works. So you can just say yes for that. All right, well, that's all I want to show you on this Unit 1 stuff. And go ahead and finish up the rest of the problems. And know that I'm going to check and see which problems most students are getting wrong, and I'll go over those during the meeting. All right, good luck with that, and we'll talk to you soon.